Hello, everyone. Good day and happy Wellness Wednesday. Thank you guys so much again for being here. I am always grateful. We are always grateful that we are here together with a common purpose in mind to help children, women, and young people defeat hunger, illiteracy, and poverty. Not just the physical things, but the things that heal their souls, and while also healing ourselves along the way, because we cannot heal children without healing our own self. So, thank you guys so much. And I'm hoping that everybody here is doing well. But even if we are not doing so well, we've got to continue to move. We have to move because the moment you stop moving, things start falling apart. So, thank you so much, sister, for what you're doing on and off stage for these movements. May God bless your soul and everyone else here that is contributing in one way or the other. And presence is so important. Present, you're here, you're present. I am grateful that you're present here.
Thank
So
you.
today is wow, I can't believe that October is almost gone.
I
October.
know.
So and the weather has been so beautiful, sunny and nice, and you would imagine, unlike Minnesota, by now the snow would have been outside, but it's not yet outside. So I will thank God for that extension. So we are
Yeah.
in Global Movement Revolution Part 381.
Mm-hmm.
History's echo. Listen to this question very well. History's echo. Learning from past injustices to build a fairer future. And
Mm-hmm.
sister, wow, the topics you come out with, thank God. You just took
Thank
a lot
you.
of things off my plate. So,
Thank you.
history's echo, learning from past injustices to build a fairer future. And our focus here is going to be on showing young people how past struggles for justice informs today's challenges. That means you using a situation that is not so rosy and transform it to make it even better.
Exactly.
Because I think sometimes some of those things that we think that they're not so good, that is the fuel
Yes.
that pushes us to do even better, because without that we couldn't have even done better. And so
Mm-hmm.
therefore we appreciate every situation. But as usual, we want to be able to appreciate our creator for being alive today and for doing what we are doing, and we're going to continue to do so. So let's bow however you want.
Okay.
Divine creator of all nations, we come before you as one human family, children of many colors, voices, and dreams, yet bound by a single purpose: to make right what history has made wrong. Lord, let the echoes of past injustice not divide us, but awaken us to a higher calling: to feed where hunger still cries, to teach where ignorance still chains, to heal where hearts still bleed. In saying this, injustices in homes, in relationships, in schools, in institutions, in government, all around, but it starts from home. Bless
Yes.
one global movement that it may stand as a pillar of light, a movement that turns pain into purpose and hope into human transformation. Grant us the courage to rewrite history with compassion, to raise the young as champions of truth, and to empower women as builders of peace. Let justice roll like a mighty river, O Lord, and righteousness flow through every nation and every soul and every family. We declare that the ruins of yesterday shall not define tomorrow. The echo of injustice shall be silenced by symphony, by the symphony of love. In your holy name, commit ourselves to build a fairer, freer, and more faithful world. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, sister.
Yes.
Lovely prayer. And then, as usual, we are going to go into our reason for being one global movement. So,
Yes, sure.
our vision and mission statement of One Global Movement, which we sometimes shorten to OGM, we say one global movement will support any organization or group or individual that aligns with its global vision and mission, which is as follows. So, the mission of One Global Movement is to empower young people, children, and women worldwide with a focus on young women, providing them with the tools and sustainable solutions that will help them eradicate hunger, illiteracy, and poverty, to build generational wealth while living a life of leadership and purpose. We believe that every child deserves access to nutritious food, quality education, and opportunities to thrive. Through global collaborative efforts, innovative programs, and community engagement programs, we strive, we strive to break the cycle of hunger, illiteracy, poverty, and to build a future where every child can build on their hopes and dreams while reaching their full potential. So, together, through divine intervention, with love and clean, safe, and valuable technology, we can create such a world where no child goes to bed hungry, no child is denied an education, and no child is limited to poverty or to any condition that is not of their own making. It is possible. Our gratitude and thanksgiving goes to our divine creator, who is our ultimate provider and who has promised to supply us abundantly, not just for ourselves, but to do good works by helping uplift and care for all of humanity. All of humanity. We thank everyone who supports OGM and wish us all success in our various businesses and world changing endeavors. And that is the vision and mission of One Global Movement. Thank you for joining us. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yes, and now we have another exciting topic, as I
Yes,
always like
always
to
exciting.
say. It is, though. History's echo, learning from past injustices to build a fairer future. Who doesn't want that, right? So, hello, everyone, again, and thank you for joining us. And so, I like to start with this. I say it's often said that history never truly leaves us, it lingers,
Mhm,
whispering through the generations. Those whispers can become echoes, sometimes faint, sometimes deafening, shaping how we think, how we govern, and how we treat one another. So today, as we reflect on history's echo, learning from past injustices to build a fairer future, we are reminded that the story of humanity is not only written in books or monuments, it
mhm,
is written in people, of course. And when the lessons of the past go unheeded, history has a way of repeating itself, sometimes with devastating familiarity. So, what is the meaning of echo? An echo happens when sound bounces back.
mhm,
When we project outward, return what we protect. Okay, let me go again. When what we project outward returns to us, that's what an echo is.
mhm,
History works much the same way. The actions, policies, and ideologies of the past do not disappear. They rebound through time, touching the present in ways both visible and invisible. Some echoes are loud wars, discrimination, and oppression. Others are quieter, systemic inequities, mistrust in institutions, and generational trauma.
mhm,
To truly build a fairer future, we must first learn to listen, not defensively, but deeply. And so I frame this in the acronym ECHO, ECHO, because it makes it easier for me to keep track of the points I want to make. So let's explore the acronym ECHO, which captures four essential steps for transforming historical awareness into forward looking justice. So the E, it's to examine the past honestly. The first step is to examine. We cannot heal what we refuse to see. There's a saying that says, what gets measured gets managed. I'll
right,
always like that phrase.
mhm,
Examining history means confronting uncomfortable truths, such as slavery, colonialism, genocide, exploitation, and recognizing their human cost. which has been great. A huge cost has been paid for those. This isn't about assigning modern guilt to past generations, but about developing an honest understanding of cause and consequence. So when Germany teaches about the Holocaust, or when Canada opens archives of residential schools for the indigenous people, these are acts of moral clarity. It's an acknowledgement that transparency is the foundation of transformation. Without examination, history becomes sanitized, and a sanitized history is an incomplete one. And then there is the C in echo. It's to confront the lingering consequences, and there are many. Next, we must confront what continues to echo today. The reverberation of past injustices are felt in systemic racism, economic inequality, and institutional mistrust. For example, the transatlantic slave trade did not end in 1833 or 1865. Its legacy persists in racial wealth gaps and social hierarchies. Similarly, colonial rule left behind more than borders. It left broken economics, fractured identities, and generations struggling for restoration. Confrontation requires courage to reform systems, to challenge privilege, and admit that progress cannot be declared while inequality persists. The H in ECHO is to heal through understanding and inclusion. To confront without healing is to reopen wounds. Healing begins with empathy, through listening, through education and inclusion. When we center the voices once excluded from history, indigenous communities, enslaved peoples, colonized nations, exploited workers, we allow humanity's full story to emerge. Projects documenting Black Canadian history, for instance, give visibility to contributions that long were erased. Healing also comes from reparatory actions, apologies, memorials, and tangible redress. These gestures do not erase the past, but they build the emotional and moral scaffolding for reconciliation. And perhaps most importantly, healing involves teaching our youth not to inherit bitterness, but to inherit awareness. Here's where the young change makers show us the power of action. I don't know if I'm going to say these names correctly, but they're doing great things, so I chose them. Zuleika Patel, a high school activist in South Africa, she confronted post apartheid racial inequalities, turning awareness into tangible advocacy, which is going on today. Nico Pampier, also from South Africa, works to reform governance and strengthen institutions, helping ensure history's injustices do not dictate current policies. And then there's Ayaka Militafa, an environmental activist, highlights how historical exploration of land and people echoes into today's climate crises. These young people remind us that healing is not only reflection, it is active engagement. And the O in echo, overcome through action and reform. Finally, overcome. Learning must lead to doing. When you know better, you do better, as you've always said, sister. We
Yes.
overcome history's harmful echoes by shaping systems that do not repeat them. This means reforming policies that perpetuate inequality, ensuring representation in decision making, embedding justice into law and leadership, fostering cross cultural understanding. Movements like civil rights, indigenous reclamation, and gender equality shows that change is intentional. Overcoming also requires humility, the awareness that justice is a continuous process. It's not a completed project. The examples of our youth activists tie directly here. They are not only acknowledging history, but they're stepping into roles where they can reform, influence, and reshape systems. And here's why history's echo matters today. George Santayana warned those who cannot remember the past are condemned to repeat it. The recurrence of conflict, displacement, and prejudice across the world shows that these echoes are getting louder. But awareness gives us a choice to let history repeat or to let it teach. We can either react to the echoes or learn their rhythm and turn them into something constructive, a harmony instead of a haunting.
Mm-hmm.
Our goal is to let history echo, not with pain, but with purpose, building a fairer future then. So, how do we do that? Practical pathways for building a fairer future. So, how do we apply these lessons today? Education, always education. Education integrate inclusive curricula that present history from multiple perspectives. History is not one set of people. We're we're together. Ubuntu, right?
Ubuntu, yes.
Yes, yes. Policy, support reparatory justice, as you've always
Yes.
said, sister. That has to come. That's part of it. From land acknowledgements to resource redistribution. Dialogue, foster community conversation where painful histories can be shared safely and constructively. And then there's representation. Ensure leadership tables reflect those historical marginalized. Everybody should be at the table. You
Mhm.
can't make these rules and pass them down and come and say this is what you're going to do. That is not representation.
Yep.
Empathy, cultivate an ethic of care, remembering that acknowledgement is not weakness, it's wisdom. When these
Mhm.
actions intersect, we move from awareness to accountability, from echo to evolution. And so, in closing, if history is an echo, what do our actions today and forward? What do we do? How do we move into that? Each decision we make, each word, each policy, each act of inclusion becomes part of the next generation's history. We cannot silence the echoes of the past, but we can reshape their meaning. And when we examine courageously, confront honestly, heal compassionately, and overcome purposefully, we don't just learn from history, we redeem it. And in that redemption lies the promise of a truly fairer future. Thank you, sister. That's it for me.
Wow, wonderful, wonderful. I really love that. And I love the way you present it because you presenting this with joy, with happiness, because you know
Absolutely.
that there is nothing, nothing in life that there is no solution, a positive solution to it. And if we do
That's right.
not bring this through history's echo, we will not be able to provide the appropriate solutions to these things. And we all
Yes.
have all hands on deck. So when you say we
Oh,
cannot heal what we refuse to see. And that is so true.
exactly.
You cannot
Yes.
pretend that something does not exist. And how are you then going to find solutions to it? And what gets measured gets managed.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. You
If you
know,
don't,
if you sweep it under if you sweep it under the rug, sister, it will never get solved. And that is what
yes.
we've been doing up till now, right? Just
Uh-huh.
pretend it didn't happen. Oh, let's all get along. But no, we need to address what happened. Else we'll
Yes.
do it again and again and again. Yes.
Yes, and that's why we say here that you cannot. It's number one. The first thing is to let children from a very young age to know who they are. Who are they?
Yes.
And
Yes.
and why were they born in the first place? Why were they created? And when they
Yes.
know, you want to get children involved in their own upbringing, so they are participant active participants in their own
Mm-hmm.
upbringing, not
Yes.
imposing on the child. Because when you give birth to a child, you do not give birth to the child's heart and soul. But when the child is young, in order for him or her to walk a better route or the same good route, you must involve them in their own upbringing. Even a baby, you're carrying that baby, you involve that baby, you like you're carrying out a conversation. It should be a two-way street, not just
Mm-hmm.
a one two-way street. That is how
Right.
children start learning, and that is why they learn to question some of these histories echoes. They question what happened that this thing went this way, and now considering today with its advancement in technology and other things, what can I do to help? What instrument can I use to help? So it's so important. It's just like us here. We cannot say we're going to just present this one particular way
Mm-mm.
because people are different. They have different gifts and different ways of doing things, different orientations and background, and that is so important. So learning must lead to doing, because when you know better, you do better. That's what you just said. So
Mm-mm.
those who cannot remember the past are condemned to repeat it by the person that you quoted. And these things are so, they just don't say them. These things are so true. So what do I have to contribute when you already like you spill it out? I have to do it my own way.
You
And so,
have your own spin.
yes. So good day, everyone, again. And we must always remember that we gather beneath the banner of one global movement, a divine mandate to feed the hungry, educate the illiterate, and empower the poor. We must remember. And I think everything in life really goes around this. There is no way out. And from these, other things begins to sprout out. So we are not just participants in history. We are not just
No.
saying, let me just attend this one global movement, because this is history that we are building here, creating
Yes.
history here. So we
Yes.
are its correction. And how you correct it matters. And you correct it by beginning with self, not just fingers at other people. It's awakening and it's a new beginning. Just like you wake up every day, that's a new beginning, an opportunity for you to start. So history is not there for us to dwell in the pain, like you put it differently. It's not for us to dwell in the pain. It's there for us to learn how to rise in a very transformational way. As we listen to history's echo, let us ask ourselves these important questions, because we must. It does not matter how educated or how high or how rich you are, you must answer these questions in order to truly listen to history's echo, in order to do the best. Have we learned from history's
Yes.
echo? Have
Yes.
we
Yes.
learned? And have we changed? Have we
Exactly.
built a fairer world than the one we inherited? Have we done that? Or we just want to go with what our parents have, the cozy, the cushions, everything that is made for us, and we don't
Sister,
about.
what's wrong with your mic? Try to come a little, I don't know if it was a little bit close.
Okay, do you hear me now?
It's better. So
Do
let's
you hear
see.
me?
If
Okay,
yes,
let
yes,
me go closer.
yes.
Okay,
Okay. Okay.
all right. So we got to ask ourselves all these questions. Have we learned?
Have we learned?
Have we have we understood? What are we going to do about it? So the ruins of injustice still whisper. Yes,
Yes.
we've
Yes,
been
they do.
here. Well, think about before our parents, our grandparents were born. The ruins of injustice still whispers. And why? But through us, through one global movement, those whispers will rise into a roar of redemption.
Yes.
We have to
Yes.
do that. And it's a must. We've been called to do that. You cannot be
Mm-hmm.
happy without doing that, regardless of who you are. We have,
Mm-hmm.
this is, the world is a stage. And you and I, all the people are actors and actresses. And until
Mm-hmm.
you play your part, you will never be happy, or you will never depart with happiness. And so every nation bears scars of injustice. Every family does, but more so nations, you know? From the
Yes.
chains of slavery, like you said, to the
Mm-hmm.
silence of segregation, from the oppression of the poor to the denial of education for women and children.
Yes.
Humanity has carried the weight of cruelty dressed as order. Is this a divine order? No. If it's a divine order, it will not carry this. So, but one global movement believes this truth. We do not stay in the ruins. We can never stay in the ruins. Otherwise, I would have stayed in the ruins and rotted myself. We rise
Mm-hmm.
from them. We climb on top of the dirt, shake the dirt off, rise on top of it, and keep climbing until we get out. And then we start
Yes.
shining the light to the world. And so now think of the mother who was never allowed to learn to read, and the daughter who now dreams of becoming a teacher, a writer, a poet.
Yes. Yes.
Think of the child who once starved in silence and now leads a community garden that feeds hundreds. Think about that.
Think about it, indeed.
History's pain becomes tomorrow's lesson. And it's a
Yes.
good lesson if you just don't even just determine what can I learn from this situation that is so uncomfortable for me, because there's always a lesson in there. You know, it becomes a lesson only when we dare to face it. We challenge
Yes.
it in a positive
Yes.
way, without discrimination, without thinking that this one deserves better than the other one. All inclusion, like you said. Every
Yeah.
time we lift
Mm-hmm.
a child from ignorance, every time we empower a woman with dignity, we are rewriting history's echo with justice.
Yes, we are.
That's what we are
Mm-hmm.
doing. And so
Mm-hmm.
let us remember not to mourn, but to mobilize. You can cry because, of course, certain things hurt. Cry for that moment, but don't keep mourning. Keep mourning, putting up a pity party, but mobilize resources, because you and I are resources, and which is the first line of resources in history's echo. Human resource, good human resource. You want to be able to group yourself. You go along with people that think and think like you and going through the same direction or where you're going, but in different ways of doing
Yes.
things. So that is so important. So injustice today might not always be like a shout. It
No.
often whispers silently,
Yes.
sometimes because people want to make sure that they correct certain things or they do certain things before they are silenced, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And so that's why the whisper, or the woman that says you are a woman, you don't deserve an education. Now they
Mm-hmm.
become the silent whispers behind the scene. I was one of those silent whispers as a child. It hides in unfair wages. We know that.
Yes. Yes.
School opportunity, and the unfairnesses. We don't see the
The mic.
biases.
Mm-hmm.
Do you hear me now? Or let me
The
come
mic.
closer
The
again.
mic. The mic is wobbly again, sister. I don't know what
My
you.
internet
You
is terrible.
have. Okay. Okay. It's
Do
going to
you
be the
hear me
internet.
now?
All right.
Okay. Do
Yes.
you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. It
Mm-hmm.
appears in boardrooms, courtrooms, and classrooms alike. We know that. We've seen it,
Yes.
we've lived it. One global
Yes.
movement stands to amplify awareness, education, like you said,
Mm-hmm.
education. There is nothing that you can do without education. We
No.
want people to be aware, because if you're not aware, how are you going to manage something that you didn't measure? The measurement is being aware. So, to make visible what has been ignored, to make powerful what has been silenced.
Yes.
And so, is the microphone okay now?
It's okay now. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, let's take a pause and a deep breath. You know, we must ask ourselves, are we educating the mind while neglecting the heart?
Ah. Yeah.
Are we educating our minds while neglecting our hearts?
Mm-hmm.
Are we advancing technology while abandoning empathy? Our mission is not only to teach equity, but to live it as a role
Yes.
model. Because justice is not a policy, it is a posture of compassion,
Yes.
and it should be. When the world stops hearing the cry of the oppressed, the cry of the person that has been badly treated, when they really stop, hearing the cries of the oppressed, injustice becomes invisible. It
Yes.
looks, then people try to normalize it, but it is there.
Mm-hmm.
And then other
Mm-hmm.
people will stop. They don't speak, they mute themselves to the world, and they die in silence. And we see that all the time. And so, but when one heart chooses to listen, the world begins to change. And you and I have chosen to do that. All of us who are here. So let us be that heart. Let one global movement be that voice for change. And so hope is not naive, it is revolutionary. Hope is not naive.
It's
Don't
not.
ever give up hope. Justice is love made visible. Hope is the hand that carries it forward. You keep, what am I going to do today? What little piece of thing that I can do today that will move something forward? That
Yes.
is hope. So, through one global movement, we believe that true prosperity is not measured by wealth,
Oh, it's
but
not.
by well being. When your well being is at the forefront, that means it is paramount. That means the wealth will come. A fair future begins when we decide that every child matters, regardless of their physical self or their internal self or the bank account of their parents. Every child matters. Every woman deserves opportunity, and every young person holds the power to shape the world. And they are doing it right now as we speak. Pretty soon, we're going to start giving credit to those young people around the world. We have to search for them because that's
Yes.
why we have to meet them where they are. We look for them.
Mm-hmm.
The world has been made better with technology and divine intervention. We can do all those things seamlessly. And so we're going to be
Mm-hmm.
looking for those children and bringing them out. And I know that my beautiful sister here is so good at those things. She needs to be doing that, you know. So
Yes.
when you educate one single child, you silence history's echo of ignorance.
You
Just one
do.
child.
That's
Just
right.
shadow adopt a child. Just pay the tuition for that child. You
Mm-hmm.
have silenced history's ignorance. And
Yes,
you
you
don't
have.
have to shout. You don't have to just do that quietly
Just,
with
just do
prayers.
it.
When you
Yes.
feed one single family, you silence history's echo of hunger. Hunger. It might be hunger for physical food, hunger for education, hunger to to go to disaster zones to help. Hunger is of different kind. So which one is yours? Is a question that we should be asking ourselves. When you
Mm-hmm.
empower one woman, you silence history's echo of inequality.
Yes.
And so this
Yes.
is how we transform pain into power.
Yeah.
This is how we build a future where the past no longer dictates possibility, but it will respect it as a human right
Amen.
that you were born and created with that. You don't dictate it, you let it flow naturally the way that we were created with. You let children do as they think, as they see,
Yes.
but building an environment for them to flourish in that because we have to activate their gift, otherwise, they won't know. So
Mm.
let the echoes of the past become the chorus of our collective redemption.
Yes.
Think about
Yes.
your history. What is your history like? Because it starts with self. And then you think about your family, your parents. You think about the aunties and uncles. You think about, and then you start moving outward. What can I do to remember that history and to make it better
Yeah.
for future generation? So we are the bridge between what was and what can be. That's who we are. What was? It doesn't always have to be, but what can we do so that what was can be something better for tomorrow? So the voices of history cry, never again, never
Mm.
again. And the children of tomorrow whisper, do better, okay? Do better. That's that's how they whisper. And they do that so innocently. And we
Yeah.
laugh and we think, oh, this child, the children say the dandiest of things. They will say it, do better. My son
You
has told
bet.
me something, Mommy, you can do better. I know that you can do better. Come on, go ahead, do it. Quick.
And that's good because it confirms to us that they are watching what we are doing.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. That is so true. So, one global movement responds with courage and conviction that, yes, we will do better. Yes, we will lift nations through education. Yes, we will end hunger through innovation. Yes, we will transform the ruins of injustice into foundations of hope. And so the fairer future we dream of begins when we treat one another, each and every one, not as history has taught us to, to fear, but as hope has taught us to love. All right? Very, very important. So we are not bound by the past. We are builders of the future. You don't have to, like some cultures say, that's the way it has been. No, it has been during that time. But now this is our time. Aren't we grateful that we are born for such a time as this until I'm doing these technological advancement things? So it was in the past, but how are you doing it now? And so, how
Right.
can we show youth how past struggles for justice inform today's challenges? Number one, connect the past to the present through storytelling. You can
Yes.
tell stories by way of mouth, by writing, publishing books, or by building machines that can help, or just look at something around you or history that they didn't do better, such as the person that created the light bulb. Okay, what can you do today that will make that better? We work on that. And so use real stories, not just any kind of stories. How were you brought up? You bring out those stories. Share vivid stories of historical figures and movements, such as Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Share those stories. Those
Yep.
stories are there not to hurt or to divide. Those stories are there to share among all of us, regardless. Remember, we have different voices, different colors, different orientations and background. It is beauty in diversity, and we must share these things. Think about Wangari Maathai. We have
Oh, yeah.
treated her here, Wangari Maathai, or
Yes.
President Nelson Mandela, and
Yes.
explain the injustices they fought against.
Malala, my daughter, please don't forget
Yes,
her.
Malala. Think about our little beautiful Malala. Malala, think of what, and she's still a young woman right
She
now.
is. She is.
She
Yes.
is. She has listened so well to history's echo, and she is taking it forward. And so
Yes.
we must highlight patterns, show how systemic issues like racial inequality, gender discrimination, or poverty persist today in modern forms.
Mm-hmm.
Forms that a lot of us, if we don't learn from the past, we will not be able to recognize those forms right now. And
Mm-hmm.
then humanize history. Let us humanize history. We don't treat it just like an object. Let us humanize it. Treat it as human beings. Focus on the lived or experiences of children, women, and families affected by past injustices to make it relatable. You must, because you can't just be talking about history in the vacuum. It had to occur with humans. And so you
Mm-hmm.
relate it. And you're relating it because, remember, all inclusion is for everybody to learn, because you cannot dwell in this world as an island. We must do that. And so use multimedia, videos, images, and even social media content to bring history to life for young people, which we are using now. And I'm enjoying it because I'm using it as well. We talk
Yes. Yes.
about with a map historical lessons to current issues, map it, drawing, mapping it out, and putting things together.
Yeah.
And like we talk about, I want to go back to the farmer that we mentioned. There are so many farmers that don't know how to take records, or they are too busy. We can
Mm-hmm.
volunteer. We go to the field, like you, sister, that is afraid of the box. You go now, when we are doing the One Global Movement Garden, you bring your book and pen. Now you try to count the rows of maybe potatoes, count the rows, and then and then you count it horizontally or vertically, you chart it down. That is history's echo. You're writing it, and then that book is going to stay there for the future. So there are different things that we can do. Map historical lessons to current issues. Create a justice timeline. Have youth visually map out key historical events alongside today's challenges.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's this, whatever we're doing is going to continue, but we can only learn from the past, apply it to the present, make it better for the future. We have an example: past segregation in schools. Today, educational inequality, underfunded schools.
Yes.
Ask reflective questions like, how would you have responded if you were living then? How would you have
Ah,
responded? So
yes.
we have to ask ourselves, how would you have responded? Remember that the world is only advancing. How would you have responded then, considering the way they live, because you have learned that history. Now, what modern policies or actions reflect a similar challenge?
Yes.
What modern policies or action reflect similar challenge or challenges? We have them, but we just need to look closer, because if you are for humanity, if you're like me or like sister who goes into research so deep, wanting to know everything, so that is how you know. And you would like, wow, I never knew. Do you
Ex-
realize that there are people in their 70s, 80s, and 90s that are living in a world that segregated against children, but they never took the time to learn?
yeah.
We need to learn. We're not learning to for bad things or to revenge. No, that's not what it is. We are. What can we do to make it better so that subsequent generations can have it better? And
Yes.
so, number three, we can encourage active participation, role
Yes.
play or debate, like young people debating, or come on, even children. Do you know that 5, 6, 7, 8 years old they can debate?
Yes, they can. Absolutely. And
I'm
certainly
I
they're the
laugh
big
all the time. This little big shot. Oh my goodness.
and certainly they're the big questioners. They like to ask
Sometimes
questions.
I get picked off. I said, why you can just ask questions? But you have to answer.
But
So
if you want to know, you have to ask, right? You
yes,
have to
yes.
ask.
Like my grandmother said, be nosy. Ask, ask, ask. Even the
Ask, ask,
scripture
ask.
says, if you don't ask, you cannot have.
You
Right?
cannot have.
So role
Absolutely.
play or debate, assign historical figures and current scenarios. Let youth explore decision making and under ethical dilemmas. You know what? Someday, let's coin a topic that we just come here, we are debating. You see that?
Yes.
We
Yes.
debate because we
Yes.
have to show the example. So we just
Yep.
debate, and because you're debating from your authentic self, not you're not faking. So that we do
No.
it and do it the right way. So now, community projects encourage them to address local issues like food security. Why is it
Mm,
that you eat and I am hungry? Why is it that you're wasting food and I don't even have anything to eat? And then
exactly.
literacy gaps. Why is there literacy gaps? We know those things are there. If we just listen and research, go back to history's echo, we know better to do today. Bullying, why? And so many more, as a
Yes.
continuation of the struggle for justice. And social
Mm-hmm.
media campaigns, which we are doing here. This is social media, and we have a lot of campaigns. So when we start, we're going to be going boom, boom, boom. Let them create posts or videos connecting historical lessons to current events,
Yeah.
amplifying their voice. So these
Yes.
young people, they have a lot to do, and we have a lot to learn. And then number four, use reflection and discussion, like what we are doing here. Which past struggles inspire you the most,
Yes.
and why? You must answer the why. If it is
Mm-hmm.
what made it, why did it inspire you? What reason? Give it.
Yes.
How can we ensure today's injustices to do uh, how can we ensure today's injustices do not become tomorrow's history? How do we ensure that? some of the things that they're talking about, certain things that are being done, especially to young women, how can we ensure that those things don't repeat itself? It doesn't become tomorrow's history. And then journaling, very, very important. It should be every day. And let us
Mm-hmm.
encourage right from childbirth, even before childbirth. You start journaling. So when the child gets to the age of journaling, you hand them the book. That's what we did with my son. We just hand him the book, then he continued. That is
Yes.
very, very important. How can we
Yes.
ensure today's do not become that? Journaling or digital storytelling. Remember,
Yep.
the AI is doing great, but let us use it with cleanliness. Okay,
Yes.
let's
Yes.
use it in a good way with
Yes.
good morals. So encourage them to write a record, personal reflections on what justice means in their own lives, not just justice in another person's life. What does it mean in your own life? You know?
Absolutely. Yep.
Yes. And then inspire action through mentorship. Pair youth with
Mhm.
mentors who have
Very important.
experience in advocacy, because One Global
Yeah.
Movement ambassadors, they advocate a lot. Community work, go to the community. Everywhere in the world, you have something to do in the community. You can go to the
Mm-hmm.
government centers. When the government helps us, we can go to the center and say, I would like to volunteer. What can I do? You can clean the streets. I pick dirt. I go and I will pick dirt. Okay. So it's
Absolutely.
very, very important. And then social entrepreneurship, very important. Show
Mhm.
real examples of young activists today, like your little girl, Malala Yousafzai,
And
or Greta
the
Thunberg,
Greta Thunberg, yes, I was gonna say she's the activist
who
for the
are
climate.
building on lessons from the past. And then
Yes,
this
yes.
one thing that some of us, we overbeat ourselves and we don't do.
Oh
Celebrate
yeah.
small
Oh yeah.
wins. Celebrate small
Small
wins.
wins. Small wins. Yes.
Highlight historical victories and ongoing successes. And then
Mm-hmm.
teach that justice is often a long journey, but
Oh yeah.
every action counts.
It does.
Encounter youth to see themselves as the next generation of change makers, because they were born like that in the first place. They are always the
Yes.
next generation of change makers. But what kind of change are you making? Did you listen to history's echoes and then
Mm-hmm.
what you have? This is very, very important. And this is my own little contribution. Thank you.
Ah, that's a lot. That's good. you know, the question that you were asking about, the reflective question, they all come back to us, don't they? As always, these
Yes.
things that we're talking about, we're not saying they're going to happen in a vacuum, just hand them off to the young people. We have to set the tone. The
Uh-huh.
foundation comes from us, right? Because
Right.
we're not joking, we laugh about it, but they are watching us.
Oh,
And we
yes.
don't want to be hypocrites. We don't want, I have something here about what I'll close with that. But, hypocrisy is, and resentment and envy and jealousy within the human heart is also something that fosters injustice and unfairness, right? It's a
Mm-hmm.
principle that's firmly rooted in Christian theology. These inner
Yep.
failings are potent poisons, and they're corrupting our relationship and inevitably manifesting in destructive external actions. Those injustices don't just come out of the blue. It's people think these thoughts, and then if they have the chance or the power or whatever to implement them, and that's how we get injustice,
Yep.
right? So we have to be careful that we are people of integrity. We have to be, you use the word, authentic. We have to be who we are. Be the change. What is the word? Be the change we want to see in the
To
world.
see in others.
Yeah.
Yes.
We all those things have to apply to us first, because it's no joke when we say our children, they are watching us first. Who else are they gonna watch? You know? So whatever they see us do and hear us say, they are going to go. It can't be any other way.
Mhm.
It can't be any other way.
Yep.
So let us remember that these are not distant concepts out there for somebody else we're talking about. We're talking about us doing it. Many, many, many people, sister, will say
Mhm.
things that they don't live. And that is so much more confusing than anything else for our children. It's a form of injustice.
Yep.
When you do that, You are confusing the young people because whether you're good or bad, I think they would prefer to know that. But when they see you saying something or being some way in front of other people and then not being that at home, it must be just so confusing, right?
Right.
And I'm always asking people to please don't do that because our young people have enough to deal with. The foundation becomes very slippery under their feet when we're not a rock solid person for them, you know? Yeah. So,
So
yeah,
true.
it's very
So true.
important,
Thank
very
you.
important to be who you say you are.
Yep. So true.
Mhm.
So they can begin to
Yeah.
gain the trust again because they've lost trust in the world so much.
They
We want
have,
to bring that
they have,
back.
yes, yes.
And we have what's that name?
Upendra Prasad.
Oh, okay. Oh, Pendra Prasad, this my computer is acting funny. Hi, thank you so much for being here. We appreciate you. And sister, thank you for always greeting our audience here. We highly appreciate you
Mhm.
as well. Thank you
Thank
so
you,
much.
sister. Thank you. Appreciate you.
My computer is acting funny, yes. And
Yes, the mic is
still
really
you,
wonky. Yes, yes.
it is. And we have our Facebook page here. Please
Mhm.
like and follow. This is very important. We are in the world of technology that the most important way, one of the most important way, is to go through this advancement in technology by connecting to people. And so please
Mhm.
let's utilize that. You can like and share and be sure to subscribe to our One Global Movement YouTube channel. And that's another important way to get the word out to every child. And
Amen.
the managing director is here. Thank you so much, John, for always being with us here. We appreciate you. And I just say, please limit the emojis to no more than 4 or 5. I want to see greetings and comments on the topic, not
Exactly.
emojis.
Thank you, John.
And hello, good time. How are you? Thank you so much. And thank you for sending me your music. Keep on doing what you're doing. It's inspiring the world. Thank you so much. And hello, everyone. Yvonne Finn, thank you for what you do for us here in On One Global Movement. Yeah,
Thank you,
she's doing a
John.
lot of that. Sometimes it's like she's doing the same like me.
I'm not though. I don't want your job.
You don't want it, right?
No, it's too
She
much.
always doesn't want my job. It's too much. I know. So, okay, let's listen closely and perhaps comment here in the chat. If you hear something you want to make a contribution, please feel free to comment. And it's always a good thing. And if you really don't have anything to comment today, would it be more than enough for me to ask you to just hashtag history's echo? Just that one word, history's echo. Just
Yeah.
hashtag it. That is so important. Anything in the topic, just pick something from there and hashtag it. It will go a long way to help.
And sister,
So,
may I just
uh-huh,
say something as well? You know, even if while you're here, maybe you're doing
uh-huh,
something else and you can't think of it. But when the video is actually up, when it's on YouTube now, if you think of
uh-huh.
something, go there and make a comment. You can do
Yes,
it then.
yes.
If you can't do it in the chat later on, because that's what I
Mhm.
sometimes do, right? You think of something and then you go and it's right there because in about an hour or two it will be uploaded to YouTube, won't it?
Yes, it
Right?
will. Will,
And
yes.
then yeah, you can write whatever good things you want to say there, and then you hashtag the words as well. So there are different ways of supporting One Global Movement. Please do that.
Yes, thank you so much for saying that. And always remember, big thumbs up.
Big thumbs up.
Always.
Yes, yes,
Yes.
yes.
Okay. Hashtag One Global Movement, hashtag Speak with Heart, hashtag Education, Young Girls. And don't forget about the boys. I like that always because we cannot never forget about the boys. They are all young people. Hashtag building hopes and dreams. Thank you, John. Thank you. And this is our StreamYard. If you StreamYard is a very good platform to use in case you want to subscribe or you're looking for something to use. It is here, and when you do, they're going to send $10 to One Global Movement to help children.
Yes.
And we have Levinta. How are you, sir? Thank you so much for being a part of us here today. and we
Mhm.
appreciate your presence. And we have Siba Savarajaraja. Wow, I hope I don't cut my
Wow.
tongue. Excitement
Wow.
in speech. Good. Thank you. Thank you. We appreciate you. And we have, wow, beautiful Maria Jazz. How are you, my beautiful sister? Thank you so much for joining us here. We highly appreciate you. And of course,
Mhm.
our beautiful sister Nancy. How are you, Queen Nancy? Good afternoon as well. We appreciate you and we appreciate all you do, especially supporting those ambassadors. Thank you so much.
Mhm.
And let's go down here. We have Anoop Dului, how are you? Thank you so much for being here. If I don't pronounce your name well, don't worry. I will keep learning, okay? Thank you so much for being with us here today. We have Pankaj Saho. How are you, sir? Thank you so much. We appreciate your presence here for our children. And let's go down here. We have Abundant Me. Yes, you are
No,
abundant.
Abundant Mel. That's Melanie. She can't change her name because I don't
Oh,
know.
abundant Mel. You
Yeah,
are
yeah, that's
abundant.
Melanie.
Hello, sister.
Yeah.
How are you? Wow, you're contributing in the chat today. Thank you so much for your contribution on stage, in the chat, uh, at the background. We appreciate you, and don't be sorry. You always do your best when you can, but if you have to do other things, that those are
Yeah,
also important. So thank you.
exactly. Exactly.
And then Nancy says, amazing Queen Yvonne Finn. I love Wednesday's OGM, especially for the mission statement. It reminds us why we are here. Is for
Yeah.
every child counts, no matter who you are or where you are from. This
This
is real love. Thank you so
really
much,
love.
Nancy. That really,
Yes.
really inspires me. Thank you.
Yep.
And yeah, our sister says, past injustices must be addressed before we can begin to build a fairer future. That is very true. You cannot just want to provide solutions to something that you do not know the cause of it.
Right.
It
True.
doesn't work. It
Doesn't.
therefore
Yeah.
means that you're doing it, or maybe to
Mhm.
hurry over something, get rid of it. You can never. That is why certain things persist today, because people
Yes.
have not taken time to address those issues and they persist. And when they do
Exactly.
persist, you yourself, you are also going through the same challenge. Your family is going through it. If you don't resolve issues, don't think that you're not doing it because you want to punish somebody. You're also punishing yourself, especially mentally. You using your mental capacity to think not to do good because you think
Right.
it's going to hurt some people, but it's also hurting you at the same time. So that is very, very
Exactly.
important. That's why my
It
grandmother
is.
said, treat all children equally, feed the children, put the food so that every child
Yes.
can dish their food from the same main bowl and eat what
Yes.
quantity they want. Don't give here. Now you take this big one. Now you take this little one. No, that's not what we want to do. Because when we
No.
do that little by little, with just in silence, things will begin to transform without you even making the effort to do so.
Very true. Very true.
Okay. Greetings, Sister Abundant Mel.
Mel.
Welcome. There you go. We need to call ourselves positive names. Okay? Very
Yeah,
important. Thank you.
very, very true.
We
Very
have
true.
uh Biblo Chandra. How are you, sir? Good to see you here today. We appreciate your presence here for our children. Thank you so much. And action is the antidote to despair and the prescription for success. Lisa Nicholas. I love Lisa Nicholas. That's one of
Yes.
my people in Palo. I really
I
love
know. I know. I know. I love that quote by her. I have it on my fridge. I love it.
her.
It
That's beautiful.
it means get up and do something. Don't just sit around, feeling all. It
Right,
doesn't serve
right.
anybody. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
If you sit around, guess what? If you don't move, your blood is not moving well either. So get up. When you keep moving, your brain is moving and you're also healing your brain.
You
Okay?
do. Yes,
Maybe just
exactly.
even
Exactly.
putting some medication in your brain just in case. Just like we say, eat your food as your medicine, so that tomorrow you don't eat
Yes,
your medicine as your food.
as your
So you do
food.
it right
Exactly.
now, and then create
Exactly.
some of the reservoir for other people.
Yes.
There we go. So Neil, how are you? Thank you so much for being with us here today. We highly appreciate you.
Hmm.
And John, thank you so much for always saying hello to everyone in a very unique way. We appreciate that.
Very true. Thanks, John. Yes.
And abandoned Mel says, as leaders, we can listen more, judge less, and act with integrity. Very, very
Absolutely.
true. Just
Hmm.
like you said, sister. Thank you.
Hmm.
And she
Yes.
says again here that I just saw Jaden Smith, Will Smith's son, posing in front of his restaurant called I Love You. Oh, that's so beautiful.
Oh,
I love
nice.
you. The restaurant was open to feed the homeless. The homeless or nameless? Homeless or
I don't know.
nameless, the same thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
And I guess the
Homeless,
same thing, right?
yes.
Yeah.
Because why would you not name somebody? You have to call them uniquely, right? By their name.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he
Yeah.
serves free. What a good gesture of humanity. Very, very good.
In,
That's a young man
indeed.
doing that. See?
Of
Very
course.
important.
Yes.
Thank
That's
you
just
for
what we're
letting us
talking
know.
about. Yes. Very good to share
Mhm.
that. Very good.
Yes. I also advertise OGM on his site and mention what we are doing in this group. Wow. Thank you
Very
so
nice.
much for
Very
going
nice. Yeah.
further with that step. I appreciate that, Melanie. And I will go and check the restaurant out too. Okay.
Yeah.
Because
Mm-hmm.
sometimes when we harvest a watermelon, if there's a way, I will ship it to that restaurant because these
There you
watermelon
go.
are natural and they're very sweet.
Yes.
Everybody wants it. When they were gone this year, people came around and started asking, "Do you still have watermelon? Do you?" And I wasn't even selling; I was just sharing.
I
So
tell
next year
you,
we plant more. I wish you guys can come and eat some.
it's better happening soon.
Yes. So please like, follow, and share. Do this, okay? We are working on the website, and when it's complete, we'll find a way to shorten that link so it doesn't look fake. So
Hmm.
please
Hmm.
share. That's the least you can do, is to share that link so that we get more likes and followers, and then more sharers too. And Nancy says, please, families, don't forget to press the big thumbs up. Subscribe if not yet done. Turn on the notification, ring that bell so that everybody can hear and share with others. This is one of the ways we can help our children. Thank you so much, Nancy.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
And lastly, the managing director has the last word here, as always, and it should be. Please don't forget to give this channel a big thumbs up. If you didn't hear Nancy well, now you hear the heavy
Yeah.
voice of the managing director. Give this
Yes.
channel a big thumbs up and subscribe and ring that bell for notifications. So thank you
That's
guys so much. As we leave from here today, let us remember history echoes, and I'll give your day. The last word here is
yes.
for you.
It's a very short closing, and it's just what you were saying, sister. Each decision that we make, each word, each policy, each act of inclusion becomes part of the next generation's history. We cannot silence the echoes of the past, but we can reshape their meaning. So when we examine courageously, boldly, openly, we confront honestly, we heal compassionately, and we overcome purposefully. We don't just learn from history, we redeem it. And in that redemption lies the promise of a truly fairer future. That's what we're aiming for here on One Global Movement. So thank you for listening, everyone. Have a good rest of your day.
Have a good rest of your day. Bye bye.
Bye, everyone.